Still one of my favorite moments walking through the terminal with Olivia. There was the cutest little dog right next to us, and then it stopped to do its business right in front of us. It was outstanding.
Where were you?
In a terminal in Austin.
Oh my God.
So hey, welcome everybody, welcome. It's such a beautiful day, yet you chose to come here with us. Let me get out of this. I am working without Annette today, and Annette is not Annette Funicello, although there's a close resemblance. It's Jason. Jason is not here today. So if anyone wants to be KWPR
His backup's not here.
dancer, please feel free.
How what? Tom.
He's our KWPR dancer. So welcome everybody. Just a quick reminder, live mics. So these mics are very sensitive. Makes it difficult for the lovely people out there in the internets, webs, to hear, and they'll hear your fun conversations. So we've heard a few that are very interesting. None that can be repeated today. Yes, Timberwolves Day. They've been doing something for those sports fans that are not sports fans. What this group has done is just an outrageous, amazing thing that reminds me of what we're doing here. So before we get started, I just wanted to say the Timberwolves, they're a bunch of independent contractors. They get advice and interesting information and charities and everything that they're fighting for and growing personally. Those voices compete with them being a team, right? That happens. Does that sound familiar with us being independent contractors? They're winning more by playing together. They're finding ways to commit to one another, commit to the systems, commit to the coach, of which we're going to hear from the coach / general manager today. And they're willing to do things that other teams just are not consistently willing to do. All of the excitement and highlights come from the dunks, the three-pointers, the scoring, not the great defensive stops. That's how they're winning. And when you play great defense and are willing to consistently do what others are not willing to do, they're gonna win. You're an independent contractor. You're winning here more together, and just be ready to be willing to consistently do what others are not going to be willing to do. Got it?
Got it.
All right, so.
Sounds like dogs, knock it off.
So the mission, she's actually with the Inhumane Society.
That's fair. That's really fair.
So Keller Williams' mission, build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. And this person exemplifies especially businesses worth owning and lives worth living. And that's Jeff Norberg. Let's give it to him. So, as you know, we give Play of the Week honors every week to somebody who, or a group, that does something that's exceptional, something that allows everyone here to know that you're in this game with great people. In Jeff's situation, he and his wife, is it Carrie or Kari? Kari won the doubles in pickleball down in Mankato for the Frozen Open. And then Jeff and his partner won doubles they won the gold down in Naples, Florida, for one of the big opens. So they're taking care of themselves, people, right? They take care of themselves. Does that help or hurt your business?
Helps.
Helps. So we want you to have careers worth having and lives worth living. So we hope that you focus on your machine, the machine that creates the cogs of your business, and that is you. Speaking of cogs, look at these folks. All right. So yesterday, let's give it up for Lisa Brainer and Brian and Kelly Jeffers. So, first Health Day Pickleball was a smash. It was a success. And yes, we did get smashed, as you see with the fun drinks afterwards. And note that none of those hands were, none of those hands were Matthew Schulte's. None of those hands, although he does have pretty nails like those. But it was just fantastic. We had a great time. Brian did an amazing job of just talking about the game, why it's important to him, and just to see the quick development and fun. It was just a blast. And we hung out afterwards. And Brian, what do you have to say? You have something to say too from this experience?
By the picture, it looks like I had something to say during the picture. So that's not so we didn't get that much participation yesterday. And so I pushed off 2 of the courts to next week, but it's actually gonna be next Wednesday during the normal team meeting time, 10 to noon. And anyone can come. So if you wanna come to Smash Park up in Roseville, it'll be super fun. We'll have two courts for 2 hours. And then we can do lunch afterward. Invite anybody you want. Invite a spouse, invite a friend, a co-op agent, whatever. We'll bring out the pickleballs again. We'll have one court where we're doing more new people and lessons, and we'll have another court where people that have played can kind of play and filter in. And we did a fun rotation thing, so it doesn't matter how many people we have. And you can come late if you want and just go to lunch, or you can come and just jump in, or like Jamie yesterday, come and heckle people.
Well, that's the 5th Wednesday, so there's no team meeting
Correct.
next week.
Next Wednesday, no team meeting. Well, there is. There's one at Smash Park.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Team meeting, even if you just want to heckle with me and then
So
enjoy
is it
the
what time
secondary festivities.
10 to noon is pickleball, and 12:01 is happy hour. We don't drink any alcohol before then.
As far
Well,
as
then
you
you
know.
probably don't Bloody Mary for
Yeah.
breakfast or anything? Okay.
Well, I had a closing yesterday, so I just couldn't, which I'm not sad I couldn't.
That's a good reason.
That's a good reason.
Don't drink
It's a very good
beforehand as
reason.
far as Brian knows. Okay, and also to continue the theme with Brian real quick, it was cool, in my new opportunity with CVO, I have more ability to attend events that we all have, like pickleball. And I went to Bible study today. Now, those of you who know our culture is our culture is God, family, business. Now, this is Bible study because Brian wants to host it. If you want to hold a Quran study, you want to hold other kinds of studies with regards to faith, you're wide open. So this isn't anything that says you need to do this. However, I was really blessed, and he said, hey, Proverbs 22, pick one that hits your heart. And for me, this is the one that hit my heart, based on the rule I've been blessed with. The sluggard says there's a lion outside, I'll be killed in the public square. Now, isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? And no, Olivia, it's not because I'm a square that this stuck out to me. But it reminded me of where we're at in real estate. There's a lion out there, right? Looking to devour, meaning lying. We are lying to ourselves, more often than not, as well as the media of what's coming, okay? And does a lion attack an organized pack? It does not. Therefore, I just want you to know some of the value things that we are doing and adding. We have Rainmaker Masterminds for those who run a big team. Mega Agent Mastermind for any mega agents that want to share what is working for them, what their concerns are, what they're seeing out there. Solo Agent Alliance, that is beginning. You should have gotten an email yesterday for next month. That's going to be a monthly opportunity to share resources as solo agents. Again, independent contractors come together to win. And productivity coaching. If you're in productivity coaching, you can still join the Solo Agent Alliance. Again, there is a lion out there, but don't let what's lying in here take advantage of your opportunities now. Otherwise, you'll be the prey. But just know that we're praying and we're staying ahead of it. Got it?
Yes, good.
All right, that's a lion, so let's give it a roar. All right, that was weak. All right, bucket fills. If you have a bucket fill, please raise your hand, or let's start with Krista. Krista, what does it say there?
Jenny, for being sunshine always.
Yay.
I have to agree.
Jenny's been very busy, and what she's been doing for a lot of people is a blessing for us to watch. That's accurate. Who's got one? Who's next? Sunday.
Misha, for encouraging connections and agreeing to host the brunch club.
It's not a family business. Misha's son's birthday today. She's home with him. So way to go, Misha. Tom.
Megan Oren, a buyer challenged her, but she stood her ground, stood up for herself and what was right, and in the end, mutual respect was shown. I'm so proud of her.
Way to go, Mo. All right, who else? Ro.
Okay, for Laura T, I don't wanna butcher that.
Tough.
Helping launch the Solar Agent Alliance.
Yes, way to go, Laura. Thank you. Anyone else? Ogie.
A forward-thinking, action-taking market center.
There we go. Outstanding. Thank you all. Now, as time goes, much like the Spirit Award, as opportunities come up, you just think of something that someone does, it can be the most smallest thing, like Jason Herkamp cleaning out the filters in the other room. It blows my mind to see all that happen. And if you see that, please note. And let's give it up for the Spirit Award.
Shout out, a big shout of thanks. The last month has been really crazy for me, and I was real involved with the ERA, which is the Elderly Resource Association, and we had a booth, and I'm gonna give this award to Lisa, who has been such a big help for me, and there's no way I would have been able to man the booth without her at the event, and she is such a inspiration to people. Our booth was constantly had people in front of us talking with us. So, Lisa, you are awesome. And I also wanted to mention, these are new, hot off the press for this year. If anybody is interested in one of these elderly resource manuals, I will see how many we have left after we distribute them on Thursday. And if you think you would like one, let me know.
Outstanding. That was beautiful. Thank you, Krista. And way to go, Lisa. Hey, let's give a shout out to Ryan Custodio for Capital. Way to go, Ryan. Oops. All right, we have withheld, but we do not have the link. Anyone have anything to share about withhelds? Who had some biggies coming, some fun stuff coming? And let's go with the former, now, Spirit Award winner, Krista.
It's gonna be a challenge. I've got a great big, huge, 3-bedroom, 3-bath condo in Woodbury that's, being withheld probably till right after the 4th of July. It's up in City Walk, which is a really neat area, lots of, it's just that they've got really high association fees there because they have so many amenities. It's, the association fee is $806. But the prices kind of reflect that a little bit because you won't find an 1,800 square foot condo with 3 bedrooms, 3 baths for $299 anywhere else. So
It's a great community.
if you know of anybody that would be interested in that area, I've got somebody who he has a home in Tennessee, and so he doesn't need the condo anymore. He's retiring. So
Very nice. I think I saw other hands, Jenny.
I have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath coming on right after Memorial Day. It's in Burnsville. It's a split level. Inside has been totally remodeled. And yeah, so if you know anyone like this, what was the price? 442.
And what's the floor plan? I'm sorry.
Split level, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. 3-bath, I'm sorry.
Burnsville, but what school district?
I don't know offhand, but I will get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sunshine Giver. Right.
So I got two. I've got a really nice 2-story with an unfinished basement in Prior Lake in a great neighborhood in the Wilds, very close to me. It's awesome. And we're gonna come in at $580 on that one, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. And then the second one is a 5-bed, 5-bath right across the street from Bear Path. It's It's a large estate, really nice home. We're trimming trees and getting things ready on that, but it's gonna be beautiful. That'll come in $1 million. Should be. I think it's actually a really good find if you've got hiring price point people that want a little bit of a fixer-upper. There's lots of equity in that neighborhood. It's absolutely beautiful neighborhood.
Awesome. Well done. Well done. Anyone else? Marty?
Newmarket Township, I think it's 6 bedrooms, but it could be an office. About 2,800 plus square feet. It is a split level, but it's large. 5 acres, pole barn, and Lakeville School District.
What's the price on that?
We'll be in probably the 6s somewhere. We haven't landed quite yet. They've been working on it quite a bit, so updating. So, yeah. And I think we can split the lot. We've heard we can, so we're going back and forth to figure that out for sure, but there you go.
Very nice. Very nice. Without. If the Timberwolves lose this series, there might be a house in White Bear Lake. 600. My wife doesn't like my game. All right, well, let's welcome our MCA student.
Just done the money.
So he knows he's from California.
Hi there. Did everyone get an email that I sent out about 4 or 5 days ago regarding command and that we're gonna have some updates to the system?
Yes.
Okay, so in that email, it said, how is this going to affect you? Does anybody know what the answer is?
Yeah, delay on.
paid till June. Right. So the only reason it's going to affect you is because there's gonna be a blackout period. You don't have to worry about anything other than that. It's just gonna be the same process. There'll be a few more added benefits to you guys. It's gonna be awesome. Jason will teach you those and go through all the tech training on that the next team meeting. But I just wanted to let you guys know that there's a small window where you cannot get a check. If you need one and something happens where it's like a situation, come see me and we'll figure something out.
What's
If you
that
have a
window?
closing event. It's going to be everything through May will be payable. Any closings you have through May, as long as I have the check on Monday the 3rd.
June 30th.
If you have a
June
closing
3rd.
on June 3rd and one on June 4th, what happens?
June
They're on
3rd,
time?
if you get the check here on June 3rd, we can process it if it's here by 1. The 4th and the 5th will be transmittal. There won't be anything happening, so I won't be able to issue checks. And then the 6th and 7th, we're just down because they're gonna be doing that blackout period where they're moving all the wind more into command. So, like I said, if you have something that closed in May and you're, I need this money, we'll figure something out if we have the check and, everything can be processed. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I just wanted you guys to be aware. Like I said, there'll be training when Jason's back, just on some updates and new benefits you're gonna have in command. I think you're gonna love it. Easier to process commission checks, you can add more fields, and I think it's gonna be great for everybody. But that's it. So if you have any questions or concerns about a check and something's closing in that time frame, just come see me. I want to figure something out. We'll make sure you're taken care of.
Thank you, Sue. And Jason Arvidsson, our tech trainer, our business builder, does not get excited about new processes very much. This new process, he is actually very excited about. So this little hiccup will be a good one to have. So let's bring up the broker.
Changed up for me today, I like it, summer.
You can get behind that one.
Yeah, I can totally get behind that one. And I loved the analogy that you created about the pack earlier, and it actually triggered a little memory and a story that I know I've told before about little old me, late 20s, barely been in the business, 10 years, and I had that truth in housing report that a fellow realtor reminded me I needed to have on my listing. Oh, I didn't know that. But you here at Keller Williams Preferred know these little details because we collaborate together, we teach on it, we have amazing resources. So along those lines, It was announced that as of yesterday, the city of Columbia Heights is now added to the list of cities that require one of these time of sale inspections, code compliance requirements. They have a few different names, but if you go ahead and go to the next slide, please. These are the cities that had it previously. There were 15. There's now 16 because Columbia Heights is added to it. And the resource and the tool that KWPR has for you on the next slide is very easily found at, you guessed it, the dashboard. So if you go to KWPR-dashboard, you scroll down past the quick links, you go to the resources. Down here underneath our common clauses, which are also very helpful, are the local and regional regulations. That brings you then to SPAR, and it outlines all the municipal requirements that might exist in literally every single city in the area. So just know, before you do a listing, you do oftentimes need to work with the city and get a specific report. You had a list that you were used to working from, probably, and now please add Columbia Heights to that as well.
Can we go back to that page?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, good luck.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, bring us some listings.
As again, he is literally excited to share with you the system changes for the next team. He put this slide himself because he feels bad he's not here yet. I don't think he feels bad he's not here. Because he is in Hilton, having a great time with the wonderful Kelly.
Oh, okay. Hi everyone. So just a reminder, in case you didn't remember, we do have headshots on the 30th. So I think as of right now, we have about 13, 14 people signed up. And I promise you, some of the people that asked for this aren't signed up. So you should sign up. It's gonna be really fun. We're gonna have adult beverages there. That always tends to get people their snacks. So just come on, it'll be a really great time. I'll be there all day. We can hang out and chat. Something that's coming on June 4th is Jeff Glover is coming back to Minnesota for a really, really good price. You can go and see him for $39. It's from 9 to 12, 12:30. It'll be in Minneapolis at the Sheridan West Hotel. And you can just learn a whole bunch of things about listings, and this says how to get paid. So if you want to learn how to get paid, you should go. And seller dialogues, all the latest lead gen, social media, and buyer consultations, stuff on the NAR settlement, and what to change in your seller presentation. So that's a really good opportunity to go to. Okay, now the thing that I'm most excited about, everyone has one of these on their table. You should pick it up and you should look at it and you should sign up. Because if we get 5 people to go, Olivia said I can go. So I want 5 people to go. This is supposed to be, I have never been to it, but Gary Keller is awesome, I hear. And so he's doing a Quantum Leap Summit for people that are under 30, that are, so sorry. So.
Is that age or IQ?
I think we could all pass for under 30. So if you have kids or grandkids or someone in your life that is an aspiring professional and a dreamer that is under 30, they get to do a 3-day in-person summit with Gary Keller. Like, he's literally in the room like this, and he's standing there talking and pouring into you for 3 days. Like, come on. So, does anyone want to go or know someone that wants to go?
Can I clarify?
Sure.
They have to be under 30
They do.
to go.
Yeah. It's
This
for
isn't
KW
something where you go
Next
learn
Gen.
how to be a Quantum Leap presenter. You just.
It is not. You're a participant in Quantum Leap, and it's for KW Next Gen, and so it's part of that program. There is Quantum Leap, of course, for people that are over 30 as well. It's just not this weekend, that weekend. So it is $5.99. I will be there. I volunteer to be the chaperone, so if you have someone that wants to go that's like not
11-year-old?
18, I don't know. Sure. That's one of the 5, yes, I will take care of it. So please, and if you have any questions about it, or you know someone that wants to go, please email me, because I really want to go. Okay?
One thing on that, Toddy,
Yeah.
we've been hearing that this might be the last one that Gary Keller actually teaches. So I understand that Toddy wants to go, and it's a great opportunity. So if you have kids that are in college, graduating from high school, we know we have agents here in the office that are under 30. So it really is a great opportunity, and so you should strongly consider it, especially if it is one of the last ones that Gary Keller actually teaches. Okay?
Okay, and then the last thing is that we're closed on Memorial Day, which is this coming Monday. So we will not be here, and you should take the day for yourself. Okay, and celebrate Memorial Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toddy. I hope you take a flying leave.
Thanks, same.
Good, you fly to Honolulu.
I do get
Yes,
it.
okay, all right, just making sure. Recognition and celebration. All right, so let's the top individual agents, let's rattle through. Megan, Kristen, Melanie, Selena, Lisa, Andrea, Kim, Krista, Kim, and Carrie Ann, let's go. And individual closed volume, Kim, Megan, Selena, Ryan, Lisa, Tony, Krista, Kristen, Amanda, and Melanie. Outstanding. Top team listing sold volume, the Corns. Top team closed volume, Quarantine, Kelly Arvidsson Homes and Property. All right, tough group. Listing sold volume. We have HHG, Cedar Haven, North Star, Steer and Rude, Jana Riley, Janie's home team, the Hoagies, Leisure Team, Team Counters, and Red Wing Homes for Sale.com. And closed volume, HHG, Cedar Haven, Steer Rude, Jana Riley, the North Star Commercial, Leisure Team, Team Lucky Duck Soda, and Janie's and Michelle Hoagland. Way to go, everybody. And here we have the top profit share winner earners of April. Let's give it up for Steve, Dave, Sarah, Tasha, Jason, Carly, Michelle, Scotty, Jana, and Brooke. And the lovely Toddy and Jenny, lovely Jenny as well, are handing out
Tasha.
share checks.
Thank you. Not all these people are here, but Scotty, Olivia, Sarah, Kristen Reeves, Michelle Hope,
Like, oh, thank you.
John Rohan. Oh, it is real. I mean, they are, but. But yeah. So yes.
All right, well, thank you for that. And Andy Kaufman, no. Andy's a great comedian. Aaron Kaufman says profit share is our culture. Meaning, we attract people who want to help the collective, and then you just got rewarded for helping the collective, so thank you. Well, let's give it up for Branch Property Investigation.
Hello, thank you. I forgot my Timberwolves jersey, I'm so sorry. But I'll try to watch it tonight if that'll make up for it. Want to tell you 3 things. We have a new member of our team, Daniel Howe. He's not yet on the picture, but he has been trained for the last several months, is now soloing inspections. He just got licensed by the Department of Health for radon licensing. So his prior background included roofing, sewer line repairs and inspections. He's been a handyman for several years, and now he's a trained and certified home inspector. So when you get a chance to see Daniel out in the field, please welcome him into the profession. He's loving it, actually. We've seen an uptick lately in pre-listing inspections, which is surprising because they haven't really been a big part of our business recently. But there's some people, because the seller's market has changed a little bit, there are people that are trying to do something a little more to boost their property and to give buyers confidence that there's not an issue with the home. So I just did one yesterday or earlier this week, I'm doing one coming up. So, and then the last thing we're seeing quite a bit of uptick in is moisture intrusion investigations. I think I've done probably 10 this month of houses that have moisture issues. I was at one yesterday that had, I was the 11th person there to try to figure out what was going on with the house.
Wow.
That wasn't intimidating. So,
Did you find it? Now after 3.5 inches of rain, I bet you.
well, I found some plausible candidates. So, but you have to demo parts of the house to find it for sure. But this is where you would want to do that, in my opinion. So anyway, we have a great lunch for you in the break room, and so I will be there if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well done. Thank you very much. As we spoke of earlier, you gotta have a great leader to have people, a bunch of independent contractors come together to win more together, and people that are willing to then do what others aren't consistently willing to do. And we have that leader. Please welcome Olivia.
Wait for it. Oh, that's good.
I couldn't find one of them kicking dogs.
I actually would never kick a dog, I'm just saying. Well, not any of your dogs. Yeah, if it was gonna like bite my leg off, yeah, and I was afraid of it, maybe I would. And some of you were here when we did I agreed to hold your dogs and take pictures with them a few years ago when we raised, you had to raise $5,000 for KW Cares, and you had like 4 days to do it, and you freaking did it. And I was kind of mad, but kind of not, right? And we were outside, and this is off script, but or off topic, but I'll tell it anyways. I had Nicole, I wanted to dramatize the situation a little bit, you know, for all of you. And so I had Nicole from HHG wrap my entire body in a garbage bag. And then I sat on the picnic table with a blanket over me because if your dog peed on me, because they get nervous, especially when they know I don't like them, I didn't want it to like go through to my clothes. So the garbage bag protected me. And I did throw the blanket in the garbage out. I know, sorry Matthew, don't hate me. So, we'll start the state of the company with that. How does that sound? Okay, so we have a lot to cover. First thing, before I forget, and I grabbed my phone to read you these stats, and there's one thing that you'll see on the June calendar when it comes out, but I want you to put it on your calendar because when I say the word short sale, you're gonna go, oh yeah, that's not this market. You wanna bet? So, June 4th, it's a Tuesday. I understand it's not a Wednesday, so yes, I'm gonna ask you to come to the office on a Tuesday, June 4th at 1 o'clock. Wendy from Mark V and Zweefel, many of you have taken classes from her before. She's gonna be here. It will not be on Zoom. 1 o'clock in this training room. I pulled up her email so I can read it to you so you can hear it from the professional, not from me. She has 15 times more active short sales on her desk than any time since 2016. Foreclosures are increasingly exponential. REO agents have informed me that the bank requests to them for pre-foreclosure broker price opinions has quadrupled and more in recent months. 90-day mortgage defaults rose to the highest they have ever been since 2011. Millions of Americans have entered or are still in mortgage forbearances. All of these things affect title, mortgage payoff, how listing agents need to conduct their business, etc. So, you should be here in the room on Tuesday, June 4th at 1 o'clock. You'll see it on the training calendar. I just wanted to get it, you know, it's coming up here in a couple of weeks. Any questions on that? We're good? All right. So, in no particular order, every quarter we meet with one of our coaches and we go through where we're at from the previous quarter in terms of numbers and revenue and agents and culture and our rocks and the things that are most important to us. And so I'm gonna kind of give you a little bit of an update on what we're looking forward to this next quarter, some things that have happened in the previous quarter. But before we do that, I want to remind you the 4 key values of this organization and why your leadership team gets up every single day to come here and serve you on a day-to-day basis. This is what actually gets us moving. Culture, integrity, impact, and growth. And if it doesn't surround one of those 4 things, Jamie has talked about it, you probably could say it in your sleep, but Misha reminded me the other day that there's a cute little analogy that she likes to help remember, which is SIG. I go, what? She goes, like SIG, like SIG. I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, Misha. SIG, culture, integrity, impact, and growth, right? And so I just wanted to remind you that that is why your leadership team gets up every day. And if you find in any way, shape, or form that we are not living true to our values and not aligning you and future recruits and our culture and stuff with those, please let me know. A couple just main updates in terms of things. Culture will always be the foundation here. It's not about the money to the investor partners of mine or me, it's always about the culture. And so our culture remains extremely strong, and I'm super excited for Jamie to be shifting into his role because I am confident that that will continue to help our culture, whether we get smashed at pickleball tournaments or what have you, but that will remain our focus. And so even though we're going through a few leadership changes right now, right? We're looking for a marketing coordinator, we're looking for a team leader, we've got the shift and the change, which is really great. Culture is still extremely important to us, so that's our #1 focus. So retention. We don't really lose producing agents here. The agents that we have lost year-to-date specifically, we're either okay that we got out of business with them, or unfortunately they weren't selling houses, and so their license went back on ice. Obviously it's our intention to get them productive so that we don't bring them here for a reason and they don't produce and then, well, they just went on ice. No, that's not gonna be our excuse anymore here. And so the goal with retention of some of the things that Jamie is doing, and obviously Coach Misha, now she's got a 12-week training program in the productivity coaching program, and our goal is to get these people to be cappers their first month, right? So I just want you to know that we're aware of a few small challenges when it comes to retention, but we're more focused on growth, because everything inside of a Keller Williams office in terms of the numbers and the metrics that we track is driven by agent count, period, end of story. The only way to get to $1 million market center in profit share is agent count. Because the more agents you have, the more deals that they do that produces more company dollar that turns into profit, right? So growth is really where we need your help, especially when it comes to a team leader referral. I haven't even started the hunt yet. I'm still kind of working on the ad and putting some feelers out. And if you know somebody that is influential in real estate, they're aggressive, they like to recruit, they like to coach people, I need those referrals, right? And I've mentioned it before that if you have a team leader in your downline, it's really great for profit share. I have a couple of them in mind, and that has really helped in terms of profit share. So keep us in mind for growth. I want you to know in our numbers that we're an open book company, right? So the P&L is probably posted around the market center. You can come and ask Sue or I for it anytime. The ALC discusses it every ALC meeting. We are super strong financially. We have a ton of money in the bank. I did one owner distribution in the last 5 years. So that goes to show you it's not about the money for this leadership, for the investor group and myself, it's all about you and future growth, right? But you can look at the books, we've got several $100,000 in the bank. I'm not concerned, actually closer to $700,000 or $800,000 in the bank. Okay, what's next for KWPR? And then I have some stats that I'm gonna read as well. We'll get them out to you on a graphic where you can use them for social media. I just unfortunately have had some personal things going on in my life, and I ran out of time to get it done last night and over to Jamie, but I got it done for this morning. So, couple things that are big rocks. So, what's a big rock? It's the top 20% that your leadership team is focused on, just the way that it should be for you, right? The most important thing to drive your business forward should be those rocks, right? So a couple of hours for our next quarterly session, and we can post these too, for August 22nd is I have a goal of doing at least 5 KPA sessions with team leader candidates. I didn't want to rock up, hire a team leader by August 22nd because I didn't want the pressure to hire the wrong person. So the activity is what counts, right? Just like you guys when it comes to listing appointments. So I need to be holding at least 5 KPAs for a team leader. Toddy will be holding at least 5 KPA sessions, appointments for a marketing coordinator, and I'll be leading her through that process. We have 30 appointments that need to be held with recruits from other companies that are not capping agents. In the K2B world, you'll hear it, I don't know why they call it this, but they're called an R1. So we need 30 appointments with those, and that'll be led by Danielle. We have 30 appointments that we need with brand new agents, and that will be held by Nisha. And between Danielle and I, we will hold 24 appointments with capping agents, right? So anybody above 2.5 million in volume is a capping agent, right? So somebody that does turn around and get 100% of their commission. Sue is gonna head up a new preferred vendor program. We've had them in the past and they've done okay, but what we're really looking forward to is she's going to create a kind of a tiered system for preferred vendors. Like if you're a gold and you're gonna sponsor us at $2,000 a year, you get all of these things. If you're a silver or you're platinum, and so she's gonna be working on that. The goal by August 22nd is $5,000 in inside income from creating this preferred vendor program, right? Which all then turns around and helps towards the profit share of the company, right? The more income that there is. So that's a big rock. And then something we're super excited about, and Jason is aware of this because it was his idea, Jason Arvidsson, is that we're creating, he's already created it, we're gonna offer, much like how we had Kelsey in the marketing role and she had a menu of services that you could hire for leverage through her, right? Like your e-newsletter, some of you are still working with her, as we are. We're gonna do the same for Jason's role in the technology department, and things that you'll be able to leverage him. It will be an a la carte where you'll be able to choose the services that you want. But I'm really excited about it because there's some things that he can do to systematize and leverage your smart plans, some different things with your sphere, some different things with your command, your social media. And so we're excited to launch that, and probably the second team meeting in June, you'll be hearing about some of those specifics and how you can hire him to help you. So we're super excited about that. And a company rock is to generate $2,000 of income from that, but most importantly, leverage to all of you, right? For those of you that aren't looking to hire somebody yet. So by August 22nd, we want to have an additional $50,000 in profit share. We went a little conservative, so I'm hoping and trusting that we're gonna blow past that. A couple other things that are next. Jenny is, Sunshine Jenny, she stepped out. I was pointing at you, Ryan, because that's the chair she was sitting in. So looks like we're just assigning a task to you because you're in the chair. Sunshine Ryan, right? She's working on a listing package through her and marketing. We do have as of Monday of this week, we do have someone temporary in the marketing role. Her name is Tristan. It's a referral from Misha and Danielle. She used to be the marketing coordinator for their office in Wichita that had over 300 agents at the time, and she was the marketing coordinator. She's willing to give us about 20 hours a week, so she's working under Toddy's leadership. And so if you need help with anything there, just see Toddy. We're slowly getting her into our systems and getting some things leveraged. Jenny's marketing package for listings will be something, if you're wanting to just leverage everything marketing when it comes to a listing, you just say, I want this, and then everything will be created for you. A Facebook post, a brochure, a postcard, there's several things inside the package. And so that's something that Jenny is working on and super passionate about, so stay tuned for that. Jamie is working on hosting some client events by the end of the year so that it will be planned and taken care of by your leadership team, and you'll be able to invite your clients to. So stay tuned on more info on that. I had already mentioned this, but I want to make sure you heard me. We're interviewing marketing coordinators. We have a couple of KPA appointments next week already. Just another plug for accepting your team leader referrals. And then Melissa's going to be working on some additional do not call resources for you guys as well to keep you out of trouble, because we do know there's been a lot of lawsuits lately, coming out of all these, calls. And so she's going to be working on some additional things for you with that. Am I probably not supposed to be moving around, am I?
Oh, you can move around.
Okay, I thought maybe you were trying to.
It's actually very entertaining watching you do all that.
Okay, super. Okay, so 4 things, I won't write them down, we'll post them in the Facebook group, but 4, when I was studying our numbers, there's 4 numbers that I'm really proud of, year to date. So you're up 21.8% in closed units year to date. When we've got a market that's down, you guys are up 21.8, okay? Listings taken, you're up 38.2%. That's a really big deal, right? Right? Contracts written, which is future business, right? On the buy side, 17.9%. You're up 17.9%. And then, to me, one of the most important numbers is y'all's money, right? Gross commission income. That's up. I go to Texas and I come back and I do that, right? 15.6%. So your gross commission income is up 15.6 year to date. So good job to you. There's a few other things that we're working on some numbers that are down a little bit, and that is profits and profit share. We've incurred some extra expenses that we were unaware of with staff changes and some additional things that we've brought on to you guys. So Sue and I are going to be working at cutting some of those subscriptions. Actually, that's another rock of Sue's, is to cut the subscriptions by at least 15% by October 22nd. And then her and I have a new budget, kind of session and meeting of forecasting that we're going to be doing bi-weekly, maybe monthly. And so there's some things that we're working on cutting out, but the best way to continue to grow this thing is through your referrals for agents. So if you know anybody, please let us know. If it's a capper or a mega, it's Danielle and I, and if it's a brand new agent or somebody doing 1Z, 2Z, 3Z transactions from another company, it will be Misha and Danielle, okay? So that's all I had in terms of, the update for you. I'm definitely open for questions or concerns or comments, so what do you have for me?
First of all, I like to address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Team leaders do not need to be this good looking. That should open up opportunities.
Why?
Do they have? It just gets old, doesn't it? It's like a fungus, it just keeps growing.
Do they have to be good at dad jokes?
I would actually prefer that they don't have any dad jokes, like 0.
I think she likes dogs.
that would be
boring. Yeah, so when we were in our planning session last week, our coach John, he had the honor of spending the day with females because Jamie was already into his new role. And I mean, Sue, Toddy, Danielle, probably 4 different times, he's like, man, I miss Jamie and his dad jokes, because he would say a joke, and it just fell flat, and we're like, sorry, that wasn't funny. He's like, I miss Jamie and his dad jokes, and we're like, we don't miss the dad jokes, but we miss Jamie. So, yes, no dad jokes. What other questions or comments do you have?
What lessons have you learned in the last year?
Oh, are you doing like an interview now?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do that. Do you want to do that one?
Sure, go for it.
Or do you want me to start from the beginning?
Sure, whatever you'd like.
All right, let's just do it.
Okay.
All right. Your first job, age of 7.
I'm gonna sit. First job, age of 7. Jamie wanted his words were, tell me some cool shit about you that people don't. Okay.
Well, it's because I know it's all shit. But there's a lot of people here that really don't know.
Quite the chair.
Meaning they know
It is
her.
quite the chair.
They know her, but they don't know her. And like I said, with Play of the Week, we really have a lot of people here that have tremendous value. We don't understand their value. And what we have with her, as much as I like to rip on her, it's important for you to know the quality of the leadership that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking thereof, what was your first job? Age of 7.
I had a paper route in Creston, Iowa, and I was 7. Wow. Yep, there you go.
Wow, did you have to go door to door to collect the payment?
I didn't have to collect the payment, but I had to physically walk. There was none of this a machine in a car that would shoot out the paper or anything like that. No, I walked.
She had an MCA that would take care of that.
Right?
She had the least amount of sales of Girl Scout cookies every year.
The most amount?
Was it most?
Yes.
Oh, it was most.
How many years in a row was it?
What's that?
How many years in a row was that?
Oh, that was at least 6 years. And I would just keep going door to door to sell more Girl Scouts if somebody else beat me. I'm sure this doesn't surprise you at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, but yes.
Awesome.
I sold a lot of Girl Scout cookies.
Okay, what was your nickname in sports?
Wheels. My nickname in sports was Wheels because I was fast.
That's what makes you such a great spokesperson. Sorry, that went flat.
I mean, really. This is.
Olivia, do you still run?
I do not run, unless there's a dog chasing me. No, I do not run. I did run cross country in middle school, and I just don't really like it. It's just not very fun.
Did you go to any national meets in cross country?
Yes, I was in a lot of national cross country meets. Usually was up there and placing high, yes.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
They keyed you up. How long did you play the piano?
I played the piano from the age of 5 until probably the age of 13.
You have pitch perfect. Perfect pitch, whatever, the movie.
I was told at the age of 5, my parents were told that your daughter has perfect pitch. So they were pretty proud of me, and I did a ton of piano recitals and state competitions and county fairs, and I had homemade sewn dresses from my mom that I would wear at these fancy recitals and things, and yeah, I actually miss it. It's on a bucket list item of mine to own a grand piano, like a baby grand. Our little split entry in Lakeville doesn't have a really good spot for a baby grand piano, so we'll have to maybe put that on the list for the next house, but yes.
Do you remember Furry Elise?
I do.
I heard that the other day, like when you were on hold.
Yeah.
And when the people came back, I said, that was Furry Elise.
Yep, that was one of the songs that I had memorized that I played a lot.
So cute.
Tell us about when you broke your ankle on Sunday.
I should have told you so much. So, in 2010 or 11, I was delivering shift books. I was the team leader at the KW Maple Grove office, and I was delivering shift books on a Sunday, visiting their open houses to try to get them to give me an appointment. And what better way to do that than to show up at their open house and trap them, where they had to talk to me, and give them a gift, because then they had to give me an appointment when I called them later that week. But I fell, and I broke my ankle, and it was quite interesting. Experience. So I ended up at the urgent care, and the next day I ended up at Triage or whatever it is, Twin Cities Orthopedic right around the corner. And so something Colin won't ever forget, we just talked about it the other day actually. The doctor said to me, you know, you're gonna need surgery, it's broken pretty bad. Like I have a plate and like 10 screws, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, I have to be in Austin, Texas next week to meet with Gary Keller, so let's go ahead and schedule surgery for like 2 weeks from now. So there was me telling the surgeon when I was gonna have surgery, and he started laughing and looked at me and said, you're gonna actually be in surgery at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So then I said, well okay, fine, like if that's how it's gonna be, but will I be able to wear heels in 2 weeks when I'm in Austin? I mean, just shit for brains, right? That was interesting. It was my right foot, and I was still the team leader in Maple Grove, so I was not able to drive for over 3 months. So I lived with one of the agents that was at KW Maple Grove, still at KW Maple Grove. Her name is Corey, and I lived at her house Monday through Friday. And they would cart me around to all my recruiting appointments and feed me and all the things, and Colin would pick me up on Friday afternoon and bring me back up there on Monday morning, and it was a lovely bonding period of our marriage. Right, Colin?
Right. Yeah. Calm down there, big girl.
Did you get an appointment
Did I get an appointment?
from that day?
Well, I actually fell at the market center. leaving the market center. So that's also a joke, kind of in the family, like I don't do well with stairs because I do trip a lot, I'm kind of clumsy. And I tripped down some stairs, I wasn't even wearing heels, I was wearing flip-flops, but I was carrying 20 bucks, 2 boxes, excuse me, because I was gonna go to 20 different open houses that day. And this is like before, you could punch in the addresses in the MLS, this was literally MapQuest, and it took hours to prepare in the morning, but I would go and I'd do it for like 5 hours, so I didn't get an appointment, but I got a lot of sympathy appointments because word traveled around throughout the community that I broke my ankle delivering shift books, so I did get a lot of sympathy appointments.
You just put it out every year now.
Yeah, there you go, right, just break something new for some
Broke your
sympathy
ankle
appointments, huh?
again.
Yeah.
We went from wheels to wheel.
That's right, yeah,
Solo.
yeah, that's right.
What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned in the last year?
Biggest lessons in the last year, when Jamie and I were talking about this, I think the first and foremost, a lot of you have heard the story about my dear friend that passed away in January, Sarah Rocco. And her daughter at the Celebration of Life spoke about, it was just always so annoying. Mom would take so many pictures of us, but now I'm so grateful that she took all those photos, right? So first thing, she had 25,000 photos on her phone. So the first, thought when I was thinking about that question was, take the photo, right? And don't miss an opportunity. And I probably have taken more photos since Sarah passed away than I did like the whole previous year. And some of them were just silly, but like take the photo, right? We just never know. I've learned a lot in terms of, I was just in a coaching session the other day with one of you, and I think we can compare ourselves a lot to others. And I'm sure you've heard it before, but I want you to really hear it. Comparison is the thief of joy. And so stop comparing yourself to others because you're really just robbing yourself of being, living out your best life. It doesn't matter what others are doing, right? People will say, well, I just want to be like this, or I want to be like that. No, you don't. God created you for who you are. Like, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just be you and be what you want to be. I forget maybe a couple others, even though they were lessons. Stop apologizing for being you. I think sometimes some of the leaders told me at a session back in November, one of the things that I need to stop doing as a leader is apologizing for holding people accountable. And so sometimes in a coaching session, I can come across very strong. It's because I have high expectations of you and you should have high expectations of yourself. And what I found myself doing, unbeknownst to me, but through the feedback of others on my leadership, was stop apologizing for holding people accountable because they say what they want to accomplish. And so I think just don't apologize for who you are, right? What you see is what you get with you, and don't change who you are for others, right? So that would be another good lesson. I feel like I've learned a lot.
Awesome. Last one.
Okay.
What do you just need to do right now to get through to the other side?
Yeah, what I really feel strongly about what you need to do right now, you need to stay out of the news. You need to do the job of a realtor. What are the 5 things that you should be doing as a realtor? Do you know what they are?
Lead gen.
Lead gen.
Follow-up.
Lead follow-up.
Negotiate contracts.
Negotiate contracts.
Phone appointments.
Lead gen, lead follow-up, appointments, contracts, and scripts and role play. It's in the MREA. You need to be doing all of those, right? We were joking the other day that Danielle shared with us. I remember when Danielle first started as an agent, Coach Danielle, Jordan Freed was her team leader. And if you know Jordan Freed, you can appreciate his directness, right? Very much direct. And if agents would come into his office and complain about something, he would say, oh, I'm sorry, did you take a listing today? Did you sign a listing today? And they will say, well, no. And he said, well, then go do that. And he would just walk away, right? Because he didn't want to hear the complaining. And I think we can get so tied up in all the stuff going wrong that we forget about what our job is as realtors. So the other day, maybe she's listening, I don't know. She was with her son.
Yeah.
She was razzing us, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, did you sign a new agent to KWPR today? After the conversation of the listing with Jordan. So do those 5 things. I really think another thing that you should focus on, because of the industry that we're in and the changes that are happening, there is no better time for KWPR to grow than right now. When I built KW Maple Grove, it was 2008, 2009, 10, 11, and most of 2012. And that was a crappy time in real estate. Many of you don't even know that, but how did we grow? Well, because of the education and because of the coaching and the culture. And so I think you're really missing the boat. I'm not just saying that because I want to grow. I think you're missing the boat in terms of profit share. I really do. Some people in this room were wired $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 yesterday into their account. Well, if you didn't happen to have a real estate sale, it's a good thing you had the profit share. So I really think you guys are missing the boat on building that future wealth. Look at what's going on at EXP right now. If you're not aware of what's going on at EXP, and maybe we should do a better job of sharing what your competitors are doing, they changed all the rules in their contract with how they rev share. And there's also a lot of stuff going on in the news with sexual harassment charges from people at the very top, so there's a ton of people leaving EXP. If you know anybody with EXP, you should be going to coffee with them right now because there's more and more people leaving that company now than there ever has been. But they just changed it. They just changed the rev share structure. Just didn't tell anybody, just changed it. And so a lot of them are leaving because now they're not gonna get the rev share that they were promised. I should touch on the national profit share stuff that, your ALC and Sarah Anderson specifically has been on multiple calls. Sarah, thank you for your leadership. Many of you maybe were aware a couple of years ago, it got brought up to the Keller Williams Realty International ALC about changing the policy on Keller Williams profit share. Because profit share was never intended to be given to people when they leave the company and they recruit against us. Well, without mentioning names, two of the very top people at EXP, one being the founder, didn't say the name, was fired from KW. Okay, one of the other top people at EXP was also fired from KW. So they went and they started EXP, which is cool, good for them. They're also receiving a ton of profit share, and what are they doing? They're recruiting against us. So it got brought up to the international ALC. I think we should maybe change our policy based on profit share because it was never intended to be given to people recruiting against us. So that whole process and that conversation started like 2 years ago. And most recently, as you know, I'm on the National OP Agent Leadership, or the Associate Leadership Council.
Top 40 OPs in the world.
Thank you. And seriously, like a 5-year-old sometimes. 13. But yeah, we'll give you. You're up to 13. At any rate, I was in a meeting at Mega Leadership Camp a couple of weeks ago, and the overall feel in that room was also what the International ALC has voted on, and that's to pause right now and not make any changes to the profit sharing system. Why did we do that? Why do I think the International ALC did that? Because it's a different market now than it was 2 years ago. Gary has spent over $150 million in lawsuits in the last 2 years. When the profit share thing got brought up, that was before all of these lawsuits now. And as you know, he was the first national real estate company to settle with the lawsuits at $70 million, right? So it's a different game now. Doesn't mean that we're not gonna go back and fight for what's right with profit share and somehow maybe change it in the future. We just agreed, like, we don't know exactly what's gonna be. We don't have a crystal ball. If we had a crystal ball, we wouldn't be sitting in this room. And so it's a pause for now on making any of those changes, so it's business as usual when it comes to profit share. So that being said, I think you're missing the boat. It doesn't have to be that they just joined this company, this office. It's anywhere in the world, right? Like there's, a few ladies when they travel with Keller Williams, they specifically research the realtors in those countries and go and have coffee appointments. One, they write off the trip, and two, that's how they build their profit share, and it works. So even if you just spent 1 or 2 hours a week making calls or having a coffee appointment, I think you're missing a really good opportunity for passive income. So, and then what else did I?
sharing some of the other stuff. You said, business as usual, get on the conversation calls with Collins on Tuesday.
Yes, so conversation calls with Colin on Tuesday. Colin spends a lot of time, as you know, pouring into all of you, and he has graciously agreed to continue to do the conversation calls with him on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock. If you don't know what I'm talking about, open the Friday email, look at your text messages. We're gonna start sending out a text every Tuesday. We've been getting anywhere from 3 to 8 people on the call out of a company of 200. And it did jump to 12 on Tuesday with Toddy's text message that went out at 8:45. Those calls are recorded and we feel like there's a ton of value, but we're not gonna make you do something you don't wanna do. You don't have to talk, you can listen, but what I will tell you is that even Trisha Rude, who's their team will sell 70, 80 houses this year. She learned something on a call that Colin led 2-3 months ago, Melissa, was it? And turned around and used it and got a listing or a sale or something that she never would have done because it was an idea that she learned on that call. So if you have leaders that are willing to pour into you, like if I were to come up to you right now and say, in the elevator, we're riding the elevator down or we're in the ladies' room waiting, and I say, you know what, Shane? Well, you wouldn't be in the ladies. Well, you might be in the ladies' room. You might be in the ladies' room fixing your hair. I don't know. You know what, Hoagie? No, I'm calling you Hoagie. You know what, Michelle? You know what? I don't want to pay a buyer's commission. Why should I pay a buyer's commission? Every single one of you should know the response. It's not a script anymore. You need to know how you're going to respond to that objection. And if you don't, let us help you. And one of the ways to do that is on the conversation call with Colin every Tuesday. It's just put yourself on mute if you don't want to talk. You're not going to get better and you're not going to grow and you're not going to be able to handle those objections if you don't start talking. But get on those calls Tuesday at 9 o'clock. What else did I say?
And also use the Friday email graphic now that has bullet points of what was on the call.
Yes.
Find yourself some role play partners.
Correct.
And every Saturday morning, pour a cup of coffee and call your role play partner and talk through that.
You need to be practicing. You do, because it's uncomfortable as heck to practice on one another, but isn't it just even worse to practice on a client and then not get the listing? Give me a break. Get uncomfortable and grow your conversation skills. Thank you. Okay.
They need to be reflexes, not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The last thing was should we take care of ourselves?
Oh, the last thing that we should do, yes. Take care of ourselves. Yeah, many of you know my story, and I still have a ways to go on the personal, health side of things. And God has given us one temple, and you need to pay attention to it, and you need to take time for your workouts. I'm preaching to the choir right now because I haven't been to the gym here in a couple of weeks, but make it a priority. Many of you also know my mom, Victoria, and we're going through some pretty major health challenges right now. And she could use some prayers, and I'll be flying down here maybe in the next couple of days, but stop ignoring anything that you maybe need to do in terms of your personal health, because what good are you when you're below, ground or not on this side of heaven? And so just take care of yourself and go to the gym and do the things that you need to do to care for yourself and your family. Okay?
Looks like there's a testimonial.
You're not the tech guy, so you have no idea what you're doing.
I just wanted to come back to this slide real quick that we had talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Before we go have lunch. Where was it?
Oh, and if you see Ryan Custodio, just a fun little joke that we played on him yesterday, Sue and I told him that we raised his cap. I said, you didn't cap, I thought we raised your cap. And he was like, literally kind of looked at me and I was like, dude, it's a joke. So if you see him, you could say, hey, congratulations, but not, I heard your cap was raised to 26,000.
So just coming back to this real quick. So I think I've said this before, maybe not all of y'all heard it, but one of my best mentors of all time that is not my mommy or my daddy was Kirby Puckett. Off the field, not so much. In the clubhouse, unreal on how he took care of people, how he looked out for everybody, how he injected confidence in others. We're seeing it with the Timberwolves right now with an Anthony Edwards type of person. Well, we have this person here, okay? She's not gonna wanna hear any of this, so you just close your ears. When she asks for opportunities for profit share, she does wanna grow your profit share, and people deserve someone like Olivia in their life. They deserve you in their life. Take that seriously, please. When you're meeting with agents, have it in the back of their mind. We're increasing opportunities for you to invite to. She unleashed me, so to speak, to help you have more events to, not just to invite your clients and sphere to, but agents to. So, think about this. She goes, there's a lot coming up here. There's a lot of new curriculum coming from KWRI. And she says, we need someone to go focus on that deep with every single one of you and focus less on the external.